Hello, everyone. I'm Bo from Brutal Commentary, and today I'm breaking down our next matchup for 173. In this one, we have Marat Grigorian taking on Rukiya Anpo. Grigoria is 68 and 14 as a professional, currently 3 and 2 in his last 5 fights. Meanwhile, Anpo is 27 and 8 as a professional, 4-0 and 1 in his last 5 fights. For Grigoria, let me rephrase it. For Anpo, this is going to be his debut into one championship in a kickboxing match. He was the former K1 super lightweight world champion. And like I said, now it gets to make his debut not only one, but also in front of his home country. For Grigorian, in a very well-traveled veteran of kickboxing, probably one of, if not the best boxers in all of kickboxing, and one of the most exciting fighters in the 155-pound division. As well as Grigorian, and has also fought many legends like Superbon, Senchai, Siechon. I wanted to correct myself because not Senchai. And overall has, and I mean, shit, like I said, 68 and 14. That's a lot of kickboxing fights he's had over the years. Basically fought everybody and won, and continues to climb the ranks and either fight for the belt, and also a 5-time world champion throughout his entire kickboxing career. Looking at the matchup, this is going to be such an amazing clash of styles with a high fight IQ. For Grigorian, as I said, he is one of the best boxers in kickboxing, if not the best, as well as his style is defined by his iron chin, forward pressure, and relentless pace. Grigorian never fights off his back foot. He always pressures forward. He has a pretty good chin. He's eaten a lot of shots and generally can take Grigorian can sometimes take his opponent's best shots, move forward, and then unleash with his combinations. Grigorian's best combination would probably be his right hook to the body, right hand upstairs. But he also is very good at ending it all with a authoritative leg kick. Or I guess just a leg kick with more emphasis on the oomph or more power behind it. Grigorian's pressure is something to behold. As like I said, he rarely ever takes a step backwards. He's always moving forward. And he always, even if his opponents are throwing combinations with higher volume or a longer sequence of the combination, Grigorian fires three-piece combination, but his often has more power behind it. That's one of the biggest things that Grigorian has over most of his foes, not just the iron chin pressure and seemingly endless gas tank. He also has fight-ending power, which can either shut his opponent's lights out or seal their souls when Grigorian goes for those body shots. Another thing about Grigorian, honestly, besides the style, it's like I said, just his work rate. Man is an absolute workhorse, has the cardio to go 9 minutes, 15 if he has to, and never let off the gas. The trick with these types of pressure fighters is as long as they're the ones moving on the front foot, they're very rarely going to get tired because they're pushing their pace, the pace that they are so accustomed to that their gas tank's not going to fail them. In comparison to, say, if he were trying to fight off his back foot, then yeah, he would get more tired as that's not a pace he's accustomed to. Plus, in striking, there are two things that are the most exhausting. One, missing your shots, and two, moving backwards. Meanwhile, for Anpo, he's quite the opposite of Grigorian in many ways. Anpo is much more of a creative, long-distance striker. And even when Anpo is pressured, he can often fire such a unique and creative strike with the combination of his explosiveness that he often catches his opponents off guard. You watch some of Anpo's fights in K1 where he'll throw just a sudden jump knee as his opponents are pressuring. He's very good at the jumping switch kick, which often lands with such pinpoint accuracy. It's shocking how many times he's able to do it. Now, I would definitely say Grigorian has the better boxing, but Anpo's is nothing to sleep at. And he has pretty good hands, especially at close range when his opponents try to pressure. But another thing, but Ampo's best weapons are easily his long distance kick. He's very good at, or sorry, Ampo's very good at firing teeps up the middle, keeping good distance with high kicks. And like I said, just that sudden explosiveness that can just turn the fight on the, or sorry, that can change the fight on the turn of a dime. That's probably what makes Anpo so dangerous. It's just the suddenness of his attacks, or how he's able to change from simplistic attacks or strikes to a more creative strike, like which again oftentimes catches his opponent off guard. As I previously mentioned, that when Anpo throw the sudden jumping knee over an opponent that was pressuring him, it just kind of came out of nowhere. Really, it's not like he set it up with any technique or anything. He just threw it and it landed flush on the chin. So with this type of fight, it's really just going to come down to who's going to dictate the range of this fight. For Grigorian, and it's all about the pressure and close quarters. As Grigorian, I'd say, is easily the best dirty boxer in the 155-pound division in one. And I do believe for as long as this fight is in that dirty boxing, that dirty boxing range, or just that close quarters boxing range, this is going to be Grigorian's fight, as he's going to have the better power of the two, much stronger punching combinations, and over the better boxing defense as well in comparison to Anpo. While on the flip side, if this stays too long to medium range, Anpo is going to be able to control vast portions of the fight, keeping Grigorian at bay with his creative and dynamic kicks, his good deep kicks, and even those long string punches like a jab and cross from range. Think of it like this: it's fire versus finesse, pressure versus precision. That's the best way I could say what this fight really is. Having said, what's been so tricky for me about this fight is not so much Anpo's, making his one debut. How does he fare at the highest level? It's like saying, this PFL champion is now going to make his debut in the UFC. Like, how does he perform and the, best organization in the world when it comes to MMA? That's essentially the question I have for Anpo going into the best kickboxing organization in the world, as I truly believe one has the best champions in, striking sports and grappling. Man, that is the trickiness of this fight, because I can see it honestly going either way. But again, it just really comes down to who is going to dictate the range of this fight. That's really what it comes down to. Who's going to get the fight into their zone is another way to put it. But if I had to make a pick, I am going to go with Grigorian. I just think that while these two are very skilled, especially when they can dictate where this fight is taking place, I think that Grigorian's power is going to be the equalizer in this fight, as well as his iron chin, as I think he can eat a lot of Anpo's offense, as well as have a good disciplined tight guard to block some of Anpo's more creative strikes, as well as Grigorian's ability to dig at the body and head. As one of the things about such creative strikers is that while they burn pretty brightly, especially as the fight when the fight begins, that creativity and explosiveness does start to diminish as the fight goes on. While Grigorian's gas tank hasn't built Grigorian's style is built to go all 3 rounds. And he's, like I said, he's got a phenomenal gas tank. He does not tire. He's always pressuring. He's always going for those tight boxing combinations. And I think also Grigorian's powerful leg kicks are going to play a factor, as I think if he can rack up damage with the leg kicks, then I think Anpo is going to struggle even more to plant his feet, explode in with his jumping kick techniques or jumping knees, and even with some of those more unorthodox lunging punches Anpo uses. Now, that being said, even in close range, Anpo is not a fish out of water. He does have good tight boxing combinations, as I say, and also, as I say, he can throw a jump knee just basically out of nowhere. But I think I favor Grigorian's pressure over Anpo's creativity. So for my official prediction, I'm going to go with Grigorian, and I think he's going to win a close decision. I think Anpo is going to be able to eat some of Grigorian's best shots, and I can see Grigorian winning by a knockout, say a hook to the body, but I think I'm going to lean towards Grigorian winning the bigger moments of the fight with his power. So once again, I'm going to pick Grigorian, and I'm going to pick him via decision. With that being said, that's been my breakdown of this fight. If you liked the video, comment and subscribe. Next up, we'll have Takeru Segawa taking on Dennis Pudrick. But until then, I've been Bo from Brutal Commentary. I thank you all for listening. Take care.